I'm gonna have to think about this for a minute. Go ahead.
Saw.
Okay, Saw is a horror movie franchise. Which I may have only seen one, but maybe I'll also possibly do. Saw, by me. It goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a man, and he got tricked somehow into going into like a creepy basement room. And in the creepy basement room, I remember what it's about now. In the creepy basement room, there was a man on the floor, and he was dead. Maybe there was another man too, chained to something. I think he got tricked into going there. Is he a policeman? I'm pretty sure the man who gets tricked into going to the creepy basement room is a regular man. It's a normal day. Somebody tells him that there's like something dead down there and he has to save them. So he goes in there and there's a chair. Oh, maybe he woke up there, chained to the chair. No, he went in there. He walked in. There's a man who's dead. There's another man who needs his help. Now all of a sudden, that's television with that plays a message, and it's a creepy voice man, and it says, "Riddle me this, something riddly, and you have to do something." And he's like, "Oh no," and maybe there's a gun there with a bullet in it, and he either has to kill the man who's chained to the thing or kill himself or something, or else somebody's gonna come and kill them both, and then he has to figure out what to do about it. And there must be a saw there. Somebody's tied to something. Maybe he has to cut off the guy's arm to set him free, or else cut off his own arm. Maybe it's not a gun at all. It's a saw, and he has to cut off somebody's arm. That was the answer. And then there is also a weird puppet that walks in. That's scary. And maybe, I think that the police find out somebody is looking for him. And they said, "George." And he couldn't yell because he would have ruined the riddle thing. He has to follow a lot of rules, I think. And then I think he maybe kills himself because he saws his arm off and he bleeds to death. I think he chooses the wrong choice. And then at the end, here, are you ready for the spoiler? Here it comes. The bad man, who is the tricker, isn't the puppet, surprise, is the dead guy who was laying on the floor the whole time, and he's not dead. He's the killer. It's him. And he's a serial killer, apparently, and he goes on keeping doing this tricky trickies to other people in other movies. But I don't remember what them are about. So I probably did only see that first one. In the basement room. Pretty sure the whole movie takes place in there. It's probably like cop scenes or something, too. I don't know how they get found out. But that dead man, he's the killer. I know it. Maybe Thomas is a cop. No, I'm sticking with...
Who's Thomas?
The main guy who went in and got chained to the chair and cut his arm and killed himself by accident because he got tricked by the dead guy on the ground. I think he's even laying in a pool of blood. I mean, he is dead. The whole time you're like, it's just like, oh, dead guy, bing bong. Like, you know when you go where they're like, I'll give you a riddle where it's like, oh, there's a puddle in the middle of the floor and how did it get there and whatever. And you're like, bypass like the most obvious thing. It's like, oh, there also happened to be like a dead guy on the floor with blood, whatever. Who cares about him? He's the killer. Should have paid attention. But he didn't. Instead, he cut off his arm and killed himself like a dumb. Tom lost the game. The end. I think that's it.